Well, here it is, New Year's Eve again, December 31st, 1967. The Smith family, minus one, is again gathered in the living room of our home in Oakland. And we're going to do the same type of program this year that we have now done for the last 3 years, having each one in the family come up and say a few words on the tape, recalling their most memorable experiences and thoughts over the past year of 1967. To start off with, we're going to have little Kimbo, who's going to come up and say a few words for everybody to hear. All right, Thimbo? What are you going to say? You going to sing a song?
No.
Tell them you're bigger this year.
You say, I'm bigger this year.
I'm bigger this year.
What you get for Christmas?
Pepsi.
What did you get for Christmas?
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
What else?
Spunky.
What else?
Babes in Toyland.
Waves into
Well, you
my
could talk up louder than that, Thimbo. Talk up loud.
What? What?
You like to go sliding?
I like to go sliding.
You got a sled?
I go sled.
Well, maybe after we break the ice a little bit, she'll have a few more words to say. Now we're going to hear from JP. What do you want to say, Jay? You get your speech all written out?
Yeah.
How about kindergarten?
Tell it.
I like school.
Yeah. Who's your teacher?
Mrs. Hall.
How do you go to school?
I take the bus.
Where do you get the bus? Huh? Out front of the house?
Yeah.
You take your lunch to school?
Yes.
You take some money for milk?
Yeah.
What do you do in school?
I color.
What else? What else? Huh? You
I.
draw pictures for me?
Yeah.
You bring papers home to me?
Yep.
Who are some of the kids in school? Who are some of the other kids? You know their names? Huh?
No.
You don't know any of the other kids? Who drives the bus?
My bus driver.
What's his name?
I don't know his name.
What color's the bus? Pink?
No.
What color's the bus, huh?
Yellow.
Yellow. What time do you get home from school?
5 o'clock.
Yeah, you learning how to tell time this year?
Yes.
That's a boy. You like to go to school?
Yep.
That's a boy. Well,
Yeah, first.
what'd you get for Christmas?
I got a train,
Yeah, what else?
Box cars.
cars, and box for my cars.
Yeah. What else? That all? That a boy. Okay, Dave. Now we're going to hear from Big Dave. Dave is grown another 6 inches this year. Wait a minute. No, we're going to say Happy New Year when we're all done, all right? Okay, now Dave. What grade are you in, Dave?
I'm in the 2nd grade. I am Mrs. Carson,
Yeah,
room 3.
yeah,
I forget this.
yeah.
And for Christmas, I got
You got to talk into the mic. Go ahead.
an Indian, a soldier,
Yeah,
and a cowboy with a horse, and I got a stagecoach,
yeah.
Hockey game.
and I got a pee-wee hockey game,
Hey.
and I got some slippers,
Hey, boy.
Guns.
and I got some guns,
Yeah,
and I got a truck,
yeah,
and I got a robot.
yeah. Well, that's good. Is it snowing outside now?
Yup.
Well, that's not so hot, is it? You got a new sled?
Nope.
No. What?
I forgot to say I got some animals.
All right, we'll get back to that later on. Now, you got anything else to say, Dave?
Happy New Year.
All right, well, you had to get that in here. All right.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. All right, now we're going to...
Everybody.
Yeah, now we're going to hear from Tim Bug.
Happy New Year,
Yeah, we're going to say Happy New Year after we're all done. All right, Timmy's got his speech all written out. Now, no more than 10 pages, Tim, okay? You only got one page? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Timothy Smith.
On Christmas Eve. Wow, I wish this didn't happen because you get all mixed up with the prayer books. I didn't have time to write to Uncle Ed. I sure got what I wanted. The snow makes me sort of feel happy and unhappy because I want to ride my bike. In sliding Tuesday, I slid flat on my face and got a cut and didn't notice it till Matthew told me. I like school. I'm in the fourth grade. Miss Rod got married on Wednesday. My teachers are Miss Rod, Mrs. Collins, Mr. Silver, Miss Herbert, and Miss Coop. I love the dog and hope that you don't get rid of it. For Christmas, I got a bike, a car set, a slinky, a truck, a scribbage, a radio, a switch and go, and a billfold. I am happy that Mike came home. I like skating too. Happy New Year, everybody.
Very good, Timothy. Very, very good. Very good. That was all right. Now let's see. We're going to hear from Matthew. All set, Matt?
Yep.
All right. Everybody quiet. Shh. Quiet, please. Quiet.
Here's the title, Speech. I got a racerific from Ma, an erector set from Nana, a model from Mrs. Langloy, a 5-way groomer for men from the kids, a pen, a Cub Scout uniform, an extra motorific car, a Cub Scout wallet, $5 from Uncle Eddie. I'm in the 5th grade, room 15. My teacher is Mrs. Mulford. For arithmetic, I have Miss Latenda. History and language, I got Mr. Musso. Geography and science, I got Miss Remington. I play football at recesses with Mr. Musso. I am going to join the Bovo Blancos when I get into high school. The sliding is pretty good. There is a bad reason and a good reason. The good is you get down far. The bad is the bumps are terrible. On cold days you can walk on the snow without falling through. Those days going down the big hill, you never go down once without falling off your sled. The plastic sleds. The pond freezes around this time of year, so we go skating. I can skate pretty good. I might join the hockey team. 3 days before Christmas, it was cold, snowy day, so we each decided to open a present. I got a junior artist set, and we got a dog that I hope never give away. Happy New Year, everybody. Whee!
Very good. Very good. All right. Now let's see. Who's next in the program here? Big Clayton? No more than 10 pages, Clayton, please.
The first thing I'd like to say is what happened in '67. About the best thing I liked other than Christmas was back in May in grade 6 when I went to Washington, D.C. I went with the Harrisville Junior Police. I had a wonderful time and saw some beautiful scenery. I went by train and stayed at the Annapolis Hotel, 7th floor, apartment 22. When I got back, Ma took my picture. The next thing I'd like to say is about when I joined the Boy Scouts. I went to Connecticut on a 3-day camping trip. It was fine. I went on a 5-mile hike there and went into a rowboat and canoe. I went to a Christmas banquet with the Boy Scouts too. I also had an accident playing football with Matt. I slightly fractured my left pinky. I went to
Fractured your what?
this left little finger.
Yeah, okay. Only a slight fracture. Okay. Read on.
I went to Fogarty Memorial Hospital to have it x-rayed.
In intensive care for 5 days. All right.
A couple of days later in the office after Ma took off the splint
temporarily. Dad asked me to try to make a fist, and I got dizzy and almost.
You temporarily fainted.
Ma gave me a whiff of some smelling salt. It smelled like some very strong ammonia. I soon had my splint off. For Christmas, I got an indoor golf set, Boy Scout wallet, Boy Scout socks, Boy Scout handkerchief.
Sounds like you're going to join the Girl Scouts. Okay, come on. Read on. Shh, quiet, everybody.
Viewmaster, extra slides for the Viewmaster, 5-way groomer for men, dictionary, and basketball. For my birthday, I got a wood burning set. And then in the next year, I wish to go up a few ranks in the Boy Scouts. And I know I'm going to Quonset around January 22nd with the Boy Scouts. I wish to write to Mike, Uncle Dave, and Uncle Eddie. Happy New Year.
Very good. Very good. Now who's next on the agenda? Next on the agenda here, EJ? All right. Be a short intermission while Dorothy answers the phone. Okay, we're back in business again now. I don't know who it was on the phone, but now we turn to the next member of the Smith family, EJ, who wants to say a few notable words.
Well, I guess that the most important thing was I got a job in early July, and that helped me buy guitars and everything. I hope to get a raise within the next year. And, well, the other day I almost got shot while hunting or out in the woods there. In the past year, I've improved on my pool game. One thing that Julius got a new car. And in the next year, I hope to get a amplifier, if possible. And hope my income tax return will be a big one. And, well, I just hope that nothing happens to any other family or anything. I guess that's all I have to say, and wish everybody a Happy New Year. That's it.
Very good. Very good. Now let's see. The next one on the agenda, I guess, is Jeff. Jeff, want to say a few words? Yeah, let's get up here about the Sandusky trip here.
Well, in July 30th, we flew out to Sandusky, Ohio. The whole trip cost me approximately $124.13. And I was out there for the week. This was sponsored by the National Association of Student Councils. Had quite a time coming back. Everything from getting caught in a thunderstorm to being 4 hours overdue in Providence. Mom and Dad chill like that. Then, about my most notable event of the year was in September, around the 29th, when I was going to Pasco and I smashed up the car. And they like that too. Well, I'm in a new group now, and we're on our way to fame. It's five members strong. There's myself, I play the lead guitar. We have Bruce on the organ, Mike on drums, Glenn on the bass, Eli on the vocals. And we have in store for us a all expense paid trip to California this February, we hope. And that's about all I'm looking forward for in the new year. Happy New Year.
Very good. Well, who's next on the agenda here now? What? Should we have a duet here? All right. Okay, fellas, tune up. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff and EJ will now play us a duet, theme from The End of Summer. Fellas? was hoping you'd play one more chorus so I could take the vocal. Who shot that? Now, that about concludes this side. We've got a few more to turn this tape over. We will continue on the other side. Side B for the year 1967. Riley,
Fill a whole tape with
keep it clean.
some of the things that I've done, but to highlight some of them. In March of this past year, I received an appointment for the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, but seems to be the story of my life. I was rejected on a medical discharge because of my knee. The only bright thing about it, if there ever is a bright point about being rejected to a place like that, is that I probably won't get drafted into the service. It seems quite possible that I'm not going to get drafted. This past summer, I was employed at Johnny's Clams Bar in Glendale and worked very hard to try to earn money for school. I worked 7 days a week and as many as 77 hours a week. And Dick Peck and I, a friend of mine, took a little 3-day vacation to New York and to Philadelphia, which I saw Uncle Dave, and to Washington, D.C. And
LBJ.
to see LBJ, Fighting Poverty. And on the way back, we stopped off in New York to see some friends, and Dick's car was broken into, and I had $70 in cash stolen. It seemed to highlight another bright spot that I was sick on some food that I ate and had diarrhea for the 3 days and immensely enjoyed my trip. My freshman year at Boston College concluded in the early part of June, and I managed to salvage a fairly decent average of a possible C+ average. My sophomore year, I have an apartment, and my parents seem very apprehensive about my getting one, but I think I'm responsible enough to have their trust in my intentions. As far as marks go, I am doing much better. I even have seen a few A's on a few tests and papers that I've received. I'm a history major with hopes of going into guidance counseling and later doing some with hopes of making a career in educational administration. Since September, I've come to realize a lot of things that were apparent, but I never really came to the full realization. One thing was the high rating of Boston College. I'm quite proud that I'm going to such a fine school and other things. I was received an offer from Howie Laporte, who is the new football coach at Burrillville High School, and he offered me a job at coaching and as his assistant, if I wanted when I graduated. And
Providing he's still the coach.
Providing he's still the coach. And I've come, whether I don't really realize it or not, nobody else realizes, I've come very close to my father, which I finally broke some sort of barrier, and my mother, and all the kids. You kind of, you take them as part of a family, not as somebody you're always fighting with. They're a great bunch of kids, my lovely grandmother. And talking to my father past couple days and realizing, another things that I realized, how much he really works his hump off to keep this plant running. And it took me
21 years to find out.
I was going to say 19 years to realize that, and I just hope my brothers realize it before they're 19, and I hope that in whatever I do, if I measure up to half of what my old man turned out to be, I'll be all right.
Very good, very good. Okay. Very good. All right, now we're going to hear from Liz. What do you say, Liz?
I say it right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm just Liz, the grandmother. I have no accomplishments. I can't play football. I can't play baseball. I play a little bit of highball. And I've had a very happy year here. And if 68 is as good as this has been, I have no complaints. I wish you all as happy as I am. Good night.
How about your birthday party? My heavens, Lizzie.
Oh, am I too late to tell you about my
No,
birthday
no,
party?
You still got 5 minutes.
Well, I was 80 years old a week ago last Sunday, and my dearest daughter-in-law gave me a gorgeous birthday surprise party. My daughter from Maine came, my daughter from Massachusetts, and my son from Philadelphia. All a big surprise, and I want to tell you it was a surprise and a very happy one, and I hope if I'm 81 that I'll be here and have another party. Good night.
You sure will, Liz. All right, now let's see. Dorothy?
Time out for kids.
Yeah, okay, we now have another brief intermission here while we put the kids to bed. And now we have the featured speaker of the evening, present school committee woman, past PTA president, mother of 10 children, and the wife of the former health officer and the present medical examiner, Mrs. Dorothy Smith, my wife.
I would love to be industrious enough to keep a diary. I think I'll buy one tomorrow and try to find time to record something each day, at least the significant events of the week, because it's hard to remember in one evening all of the things that happened in 1967. The trouble is I'm always too tired by the time evening rolls around to write down what's happened during the day. Maybe doing it in the morning in between phone calls would be better. I can always think clearly in the morning, that is, unless I've had a bad night, which is on rare occasions. I remember January as a month of disappointment, as Mike just didn't make it the grade at college. I guess a mother is a lot more understanding than a father because she is a woman. I will always have faith in Mike and will go along with supporting him and encouraging him, even though he doesn't always live up to what I expect of him. I gave my blessing to make a trip to Florida in mid-February with Larry St. Jean, and I hoped that he would find a job there, which he did. Under the circumstances, it was the best move he made, as he had reached the stage when he had to get away and decide for himself what he wanted to do with his life. He has a great potential, and I'm sure someday he'll be learned, very possibly even famous and prosperous. And I'm sure someday he'll be very happy. He'll probably land the prettiest gal in the land who will wait on him hand and foot and will come home visiting us with many children for their doting grandchildren to love and adore. As for Brad, I'm very pleased that he's at Boston College. I'm sure that he's never been a worry to us, and I'm sure he'll always live up to our expectations. He's working very hard, and I feel sure that before he leaves Boston College, he will make the dean's list. Jeffrey and EJ are a little more devoted to their music than the parents would like them to be. I would hope that they would spend equal time with studies, although at the present time it seems about 75-25 as far as Jeff's concerned, and about 99 to 1 for EJ. Clay and Matt are no problems. They're excellent students. good athletes, and I don't think we'll have too much. We don't know until they enter their teens whether or not they want to devote more time to guitars than they do to studies. It's been a busy year, but I think a very happy one on the whole. We had rather a tragic accident when Jeff smashed the car up. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but it was a close call, as there could have been a lot more complications. We had a very happy family reunion last December 16th when all of the Smith clan got together to celebrate Lizzie's 80th birthday. It was the first time since Doc died that the whole family was together, and it was wonderful to see how happy the whole family is together and how well they get along, and I hope we can make it a yearly event. Mike's trip back on Thanksgiving was quite an event. The fact that he got here is a miracle because he had all sorts of delays of flight and such. The day before he was due to leave, he called me to say he was broke and needed $100 to come home, which I wired him. Then the next day, he called Larry St. Jean to ask him to meet him in New York City because he couldn't make a flight to Boston. The next thing I knew, Larry called me to say that Mike had made flight to Boston, arriving at 10:15 at Logan. Larry, Brad, Harry McCabe, and Billy Hardy met here at 8:30 on their way to meet Mike. The only problem was it was a foggy night and a Thanksgiving weekend, and flights were all delayed. They left to meet Mike in Logan. At approximately 10:15, when his flight was due into Boston, I got a call collect from Michael saying he missed his flight, saying he would arrive in Providence. Shortly after that, we got a collect call from Brad from Boston saying, "Where's Mike?" I told him to head for Providence, that Mike was going there. About 1:05, Mike called from Boston saying that they could not land in Providence. So they were rerouted into Boston. And about 5:07, Brad called to say he's in Providence. Where's Mike? It was a really hectic night. We decided to go to bed and hope that they all got home safely. Mike finally got transported home about 4 a.m., upon which his brothers woke up and little sister and got on top of him to welcome him home. I don't think they had much sleep that night. It was a wonderful weekend and so good to see how much the children loved their brother and how much he was glad to be. He loves his brothers and sisters, and we all enjoyed his weekend. We were sorry not to have him with us for Christmas, but I think that he had so little time off from work and that he was going to have a good time in Florida over the vacation. I think on the whole, we had a more than happy Christmas, happier than other years. No hospitalizations such as we had with Brad the previous year, and
about my present?
Ernie will tell you about his present. Santa Claus was very generous to us all, with a great thanks to Liz, and to a little Christmas club, and to, of course, Daddy. Other than that, I have nothing to say except I'm thankful for good health, good husband, wonderful family and children, and high hopes for a better year for 1968. That's all.
Well, there's only about a couple of minutes left on the reel here. So I suppose I might as well fill it in. Let's see, I can tell you about my Christmas presents. I got a set of steak knives, and I got a thermos bottle, and I got an electric adding machine. Oh, yes, I've made a dramatic speech at the Lions Club several weeks ago that the critics have raved about ever since it's been compared to Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. As a matter of fact, it's been put on tape and is being filed in the Library of Congress for future reference. As far as the year 1967 is concerned, I can say that my hair has gotten thinner, my waistline is getting bigger, my arteries have gotten harder, the bills have gotten heavier. My Porsche blew a oil seal in Providence several weeks ago, spraying oil all over the city. And the kids have bigger appetites. The taxes are going up. LBJ is going to put a 10% surtax on. Rhode Island is going to start an income tax. My nurses went on strike. They all have requested bigger, higher pay. Oh, it's been a great year, and I guess we've got a bigger one in front of us. Now I've got about 30 seconds left on the tape here. Anybody want to say Happy New Year, or anybody want to say Happy New Year? All right, all together. 1, 2, 3. Happy